Good morning, guys. I am here today going to make some dinner rolls. These are kind of like a Texas Roadhouse copycat recipe, and we love them. My oldest is graduating from a Cub Scout to a Boy Scout today, so anyone that knows Elijah knows that his favorite food is dinner rolls. So that is what I'm going to be making for his ceremony tonight. So I thought I would share this with you. So here we have our ingredients. A pack of yeast, about 7 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of butter. This is 2 cups of milk, and we're going to scald the milk, 2 eggs, about 3 teaspoons of salt, half a cup of sugar plus a teaspoon, and half a cup of warm water. And so over here in our mixing bowl, we have our dough hook on. Into here, I am going to put my yeast packet in. Okay, so in goes our yeast. And to that we are going to add our teaspoon of sugar, and that's going to feed our yeast. Yeast loves sugar. And to that we're going to add our warm water. So this is like baby bath warm water. The trick to it is you want nice warm water for the yeast, but you don't want to scald your yeast and kill them because then it won't rise. So we're going to leave this for just a few minutes until it kind of starts to foam up a little bit, and we'll come guys. So it's been about 4 or 5 minutes. You can see that our yeast has eaten all that sugar. It's really foamy. If you were here, you could smell it. It smells super yeasty. So we are ready now to add our next ingredients, which we are going to add to this the 2 cups of scalded milk. So what I did is I put this in the microwave, and it's real important that you stay with it. As soon as it starts to bubble, the edges start to bubble like it's boiling, bring it out and then stir it really good to distribute the heat and let it cool just a little bit so that it's lukewarm. So we don't want to scald our yeast, but we do want our milk lukewarm. So we're going to go ahead and add that in. And then also to that we're going to add our remaining sugar. And then we're going to add about 2 cups of flour, just enough to get this doughy. So I am going to go ahead and lift my bowl here and start my hook as I add in some flour. If there's a special skill to getting this in without making a mess, I don't have it. So I just typically plan on cleaning up a mess. So that looks pretty good, like it's going to get doughy, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it up. Okay, and I am just going to scrape the sides of my bowl here just a little bit, scrape down some of that flour. And I think I'm going to add just maybe a half a cup more. Just, it's still pretty runny. Okay, so I'm going to scrape my, sorry about that, technical difficulties. So we let this sit for about 8 to 10 minutes, and as you can see, it's all frothy and foamy. That's what we want. It smells super yeasty again. So we are going to go ahead, and then at this time I'm going to go ahead and add my salt and my eggs. Let's see how talented if I can do that one-handed. Oh, look at that. One more, so let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, look at that. Didn't even get any shell in. telling you what. And the melted butter. Let's see if we're, oh yeah, we're good. So we're gonna go ahead and pour that in. That's the best part. Super buttery. We're gonna get that going, and we're gonna add in some more flour as well. And we're just kind of do this gradually and try not to make an enormous mess. Crank up the speed a little bit so we can see where we're at. So you'll see then that we start to get this really doughy mixture. And what we're going to do then is I'm just going to keep beating this. And once it gets to a nice firm dough, then I'm going to let it rest for about 10 minutes. And I'll be back with that. Okay, so we are back again, and I have put our dough out here on a floured surface, and it's been resting for 10 minutes. So I'm just going to flour it really good and knead it a little bit by hand. And just kind of work it. This dough is super sticky at first, but once you knead it really good a few times, then it begins to cooperate. Keep working it here. Oops, sorry about that. I did not mean to knock you over. Oh my gosh. Technical difficulties, guys. Technical difficulties. So sorry. So sorry about that. Okay. I have here a greased bowl, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to flop my dough into this bowl, and I'm going to let this rise for an hour until it doubles in size. So you can cover this with plastic wrap. I'm just going to throw a tea towel over mine. Give it a toss so that it's coated on both sides with your cooking spray, or I use shortening in my bowl. So make sure it's coated on both sides, flip it over, and we'll just lay this in a warm place and let it rise for an hour to an hour and a half until it's double in size. So I will come back to you then when this is ready for the next step. Okay guys, so we are back again. Our dough has risen for about an hour. I'm going to flop that dough right out there, and I want to make this into kind of a rectangle shape, and I'm going to cut my rolls out. So since I'm serving a crowd tonight, I'm going to probably make these somewhat smaller. If I were just cooking them for my family, I'd probably just make some big honking ones. So I've got my knife here, and I've got my shortening, and I'm just gonna coat this knife real good with some shortening, and then it should be pretty reasonably simple to get my cuts here. Just kind of make sure that it's saturated. And like I said, I am feeding a crowd, so I'm going to try to get quite a few out of this. And yeah, as you can see, the dough is pretty sticky. That's what makes it delicious though, so just be patient. And what I'm probably going to do is kind of start pulling my strips. It's sticking to the counter a little bit, but pull my strips apart here and cut these the other way. So I'm kind of going to turn this over to the other way here and kind of just keep shaping it up with my fingers, and then kind of cut the size that I want. And I'm going to move that on over then to my baking sheet and square them up a little with my fingers. So doesn't have to be perfect by any means. That's how I know they're homemade, because they're not perfect. So I'm going to try to get as many as I possibly can out of this dough. So I'm going to be kind of stingy to try to get as many rolls as I can, because I am feeding a crowd tonight. I have made these for my family before, and I made them super huge, and they were just gone so quickly. So, and I have a feeling tonight they're going to be gone super quickly anyways, as well, just because they are Elijah's favorite food. And I did make a double batch, but I still want to get as many as I can out of each batch of dough. So I'm using a silicone baking mat. I'm in love with my silicone mat, so it's just so much easier to deal with than any other type of mat. I did grease it up with some shortening though, so heads up on that. Even though it's silicone and most of the time nothing really sticks too bad, I still grease it up a little bit, not too crazy, but a little bit. And then we're gonna let these rest for about 30 minutes, and then we are finally gonna be ready to pop them in the oven. So 30 more minutes, and we will be ready. So I'm going to continue to cut these up, get them on the pans, and I will come back to you when I pull them. We are going to bake them in a 350-degree oven for about 8 to 10 minutes, and I will come back with you when I am pulling these out of the oven. Alright, so our rolls just came out of the oven, and I am just brushing a little butter on the top while they're still warm. And they are super hot, but they are so delicious. Look, guys, so good, just like the restaurant style. So there we have it, our beautiful dinner rolls. So there we are. It is a little tedious in terms of time, because you do have to let the dough rest a few times, but overall pretty simple, and hope you like it. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.